From Bill Armstrong Stadium, it's the start of 2011 Big Ten action in women's soccer as the Michigan Wolverines visit the Indiana Hoosiers. And with that, we welcome you to a brand new season of collegiate soccer on BTN. With former U.S. national team standout Kate Markgraf, Dave Leno on hand, great to have you with us. Last year, 6 Big Ten teams made it to the NCAA tournament, and with the addition of stealthy Nebraska to the conference, it should be another fun year to watch, Kate.
Absolutely. The Big Ten is a conference on the rise in women's soccer. Everyone talks about the ACC and the Pac-12. With the addition of Nebraska, people will start talking about the Big Ten.
In this matchup, Michigan comes in rolling, having won 4 of its last 6, but it lost 3 defensive starters from last year's unit, so some pressure on the offense today. Who do you expect to step up for the Maize and Blue?
You know, they can take the pressure off the defense. It's still evolving, and they can do that with Ezerike, number 22. No defender wants to play against her. She's big, strong, and fast. But the person pulling all the strings is number 10, Tina Murillo, who is a feisty, skillful Mexican international, and she's a freshman, and she is the player to watch for this Michigan team.
To counter those two, Indiana has a World Cup player in Ori Velasquez. She suited up for the Columbia national team this summer in Germany, and she leads Indiana with 5 goals. What makes her so dynamic?
She can shoot from anywhere. This player is confident taking players on. She's excellent with her left foot, and she has a dynamic rocket of a shot. This is a player that makes this IU team special.
Last year, Michigan narrowly defeated Indiana 2-1 in Bloomington. Who will win the 2011 edition of this duel? Starting lineups and the kickoff are next. Back in Bloomington, halftime between Michigan and Indiana. Still scoreless as the players have come back onto the field to warm up for half number 2. With former U.S. national team standout Kate Markgraf, Dave Leno on hand, thanks so much for joining us on day 1 of conference action. Kate, what do you make of the first half so far?
You know, I've been impressed with Michigan's front line. Ezerike, Murillo getting quality chances. They need to have a little bit more build-up. They haven't exactly possessed that much, and I'm sure that's something Greg Ryan is stressing to them in the halftime.
Right from the get-go, you saw Michigan go to Ezerike. What do you make of IU's defense?
IU's doing a really good job at trying to keep her in front, but that's allowing time for Michigan to advance into the play and get numbers around the box, which is why they're having success and getting when Ezerike decides to cross that ball in. But I'm impressed with IU, and I'm very impressed with that goalkeeper. I mean, talk about experience and veteran and leadership on that back line. She's able to control it, and the team is, you know, Michigan's had some better shots, but they're in this game, IU, because of Campbell.
We talk so much about the great players on the field, but we also have one sitting right next to me. And now, don't be modest now, Kate Markgraf. Played for the U.S. women's national team, 201 career appearances for that club. What do you make of that experience? You
know, it's a great experience. I never thought I could ever make money playing soccer. I never knew I could be a professional, go to college and scholarship, and now look at that. And look at women's soccer is on the Big Ten Network. It's awesome that women's sports in general is taking this, and you can start to make a living after it.
You have a lot of international experience. What do you make of the international flavor in today's matchup, especially with Ori Velasquez for IU?
It's amazing that college gets to experience that type of level back home. Ori Velasquez did such a great job for Columbia. No one even heard of her, as I was alluding to before. Everyone was concentrating on this girl named Perez, who made a name for herself just by talking big. Ori played big, which is the reason why we all know about her. You know, she's player of the game against North Korea in the last game of group stage, and she did a phenomenal job. And she's raising the level of IU soccer one game at a time.
Let's look at Ori's bio for a second. And she played in 2 matches for Columbia, had 10 shots in the World Cup, 4 of which were on goal. Again, like you mentioned, FIFA named her player of the match against North Korea, and the first one that Mick Lyon has coached. Hopefully more to come, and I think you're starting to see it be a precedent right now with Ori Velasquez, Tina Murillo for Michigan. A lot of these players are going to get to the World Cup and hopefully maybe the 2012 Olympics if these coaches want them.
Absolutely, and Ireland has a couple players. Shelby Chambers is playing for Michigan, and you also have other players. Canada, you got Ezerike from Michigan, number 22. So it's raising the level of college soccer in America, and that's something that will all get better.
Now let's take a look at the first half statistics here in Bloomington. Nice fan base on hand, even though it rained a little bit earlier today. So far, 6 shots for IU to Michigan's 5. How about the corner kicks? IU getting back into it.
IU with 3 corner kicks. You know, they're leading the Big Ten right now with corner kicks because they're so dangerous on their flank play. They find the space out wide, and they can make the defender commit to either making a mistake, a deflection, or they're able to serve that ball in.
When we come back, we will have the second half action between Michigan and Indiana. Will it be Kottmeyer for the Maize and Blue or Campbell for IU? Stay tuned.